This next song is about a place. It's about a root cellar that was built at a place called Heart Mountain, which was one of these 10 concentration camps that incarcerated Japanese Americans during World War II. Heart Mountain was where my grandmother, Misa Hitakiyama, and her older brother, my Uncle Charlie, and her parents were incarcerated for a year. So my grandmother was 20 years old when those instructions to all persons posters went up around her neighborhood in Covina, California. She was halfway through college. And she went first to the Pomona Assembly Center and then volunteered to take the very first train by herself without her parents or her brother out to Heart Mountain in northwestern Wyoming. Northwestern. Got my directions confused. She arrived at Heart Mountain on August 12th of 1942, and she left with her parents on June 9th of 1943. And this is all that I know about my grandmother's time in a prison camp. My siblings and I were her only grandchildren growing up, so I have a lot of memories of her. She's the one that taught me how to use chopsticks, and she knit a lot of the sweaters that I wore as a kid. But she never talked about her year at Heart Mountain, not with any of us, not with my dad or his brother. And she passed away right before I started 4th grade. So it was also not something that 8 or 9-year-old Erin really had the questions to ask her about. So now, as someone who spends most of my waking hours thinking about these stories and this history, it can be really frustrating and sometimes really sad to not be able to ask the one person that I really want to ask some of these questions. But this has also been something really important to come to terms with, this kind of silence, because the silence of my grandmother is like the silence of so many grandmothers, grandfathers, nisei, other folks who lived through things like war and trauma, displacement, and violence. And it's realizing that that silence needs to be left as part of the story. We try when we can to give voice to it, to tell some of those stories, but we also think it's really important to weave the silence into the stories that we tell, to acknowledge it as part of this history. And so this next song tries to do just that, start from a place of silence, but also do the work of historians, which is learning as much as you can about a place and the lives that were lived there, and then speculating, building a world, creating a story from what we know. So this song is about 2 teenagers incarcerated at Heart Mountain, sneaking out past the ice skating pond, past the old men singing in the shower, around the barbed wire fence, to go dance in the root cellar and just find a little moment of joy in what was a really dark time. So this song is called 2 Candles in the Dark.
Don't it feel like a movie, teaching this girl how to waltz? Left feet she might have 3, but she sure feels nice in my arms. Old folks sing an old song, playing the agreed upon key. My eyes are stuck on her, her eyes don't leave her feet. All this girl, no class ring, maybe this is more than a lot. Brown boots, a dirt floor, we're dancing like 2 candles in the dark. Pretty outlaw, call a quarter past, like knuckles on a barrack door. She got a brother down in Topaz, I saw that name once in a jewelry store. Wind around past the skaters and pump, just looking for a cut in the wire. She got a key to the cellar door, I don't ask questions, man, just stand there inspired. All this girl, she gets why I miss the garden at the Golden Gate Park. Young blood and old songs, we're dancing like 2 candles in the dark. Tell you, man, it's like some movie. she's just tailor-made for the part. Lamps licking the roof beam, she's got good looking down to an art. Hear the old folks sing them old songs, the background just fades away. Our coffee can fire's almost gone, she says, I gotta get out of this place. All this girl, a pinpoint, the moment you feel a spark. Brown boots, a dirt floor, we're dancing like two candles in the dark. Dancing like two candles in the dark. Dancing like two candles in the dark.
That's Alex Raderman and Kishi Bashi.